Alright, so I have finished sharpening all of my knives. It took me quite a bit, but I got them all set and done. I wanted to kind of go over the knives that I have, the different uses I use them for different adventures that I'm going on. So the knives that I already showed you a minute ago, I'll go over those, and the pack axe, and we'll go over them real quick. But so again, this is my Gerber Pack Axe. Comes with a nice sheath on it, which is great. Got the belt loop on it, so you can put it on your belt if you need to. I don't ever do that. I pretty much will only ever use this if I'm going to go camping. I also use it when I'm in the process of the process of butchering my game. If I ever harvest a whitetail, I will use this in that process. Other than that, I don't use it for a whole lot, but when I'm out camping, if you want something that's going to be quick and easy to use for chopping up sticks, kindling, to get a fire started, I highly recommend having a little one of these. If I wanted to use it on an overnight hike we're going to do through the woods versus just going up a mountain, I would absolutely have this with me. It's nice, it's light, it's got a little bit of weight to it on the head, but the rest is super light. Packs easy, hence they call it the Pack Axe. And I would definitely recommend one of these if you're going to be doing any trekking through the woods, not necessarily up a mountain. This is my basic kit that I have. I showed this a minute ago. This is for when I am processing my wild game, when I have harvested either waterfowl or turkeys, whitetails, whatever I've harvested. I use this kit for that. The smaller knife here on top I will most times use for processing turkey or geese, ducks. It's a little bit smaller of a blade. If I need to, I can get my hand in here. There's no edge here. I can get my hand a little closer if I need to. Don't do that very often, but it's nice to be able to use that for that feature. This is the one, bugs. This is the one I use most of the time when I am processing the whitetails that I harvest. It's got a gut hook, is what they call this feature here, on it. This one, the size of it in general, it works great for skinning the animal, processing the meat. I really enjoy using this one a lot for that feature. The other one down here, this is the fillet knife or boning knife. I use this one mostly for boning the meat. A lot of times what I'll do is just cut the meat up into smaller pieces for grind or whatnot. That's pretty much all I use that one for. Other than that, it's got a bone saw in here as well. I don't use that. Actually, what I do is I use this piece for my this saw for my sawzall and use it for that. Other than that, the next one up, pocket knife. This is what I carry with me all the time. This one is nice. It's got the belt clip on it itself. It's also got the little tiny nubs in here, so if you want to, you can flick the blade open with one hand. I prefer using this pocket knife personally. I like it because right below the blade in the front of it, you can actually push the little piece of metal over, which is the locking mechanism, and then I can use my finger to fold it down. I can do this all with one hand if I need to. I spent a lot of time doing this over the years. I just practiced with it. I don't know why, I just was bored. But I've learned how to be able to get my thumb out of the way before I press my finger so I don't cut myself. I like this one personally. It's nice that you can just put it right there in your pants and you're good to go. Aside from that, I would definitely recommend something like this, nice and light. Has the belt clip on it, so you can put it on your pocket. This knife, this is the Sog Micron Ii. A friend of mine gave this to me, and again, this is just a little folding knife. Very, very thin, very streamlined. This one, it's nice to have it, but I don't like how you unlock the blade on this one. There are a lot of knives that have this locking feature. You actually have to depress this piece of metal on the back, and you can see you depress it, and the blade sort of moves. Then you have to help it along to get the blade to close. I don't like that as much. I do carry this with me a lot, but I just don't prefer that type of locking mechanism. I prefer this one. For me, it's just a lot easier to just flip it open, press it with my thumb, move my thumb out of the way, close it with my finger, right back in my pocket, good to go. So those are the type of pocket knives, pack axe for your packing. This is my hunting knife. This is a buck knife. This is made in the USA, which I love. But this one is nice. I like it because it's very small. I don't want a very, very big knife when I'm out in the woods hunting. If I have to go inside the body cavity of a deer, if I get one, and remove some of the, the guts basically, I like this one because there's some portions of the field dressing process where you can't see what you're doing. So having a smaller knife in those areas versus a very big one, it reduces the chances of me personally cutting myself, and I've had this for years and years and years. My parents gave this to me for Christmas a long time ago. And I've used it, I believe, on almost every whitetail I've ever harvested. So that's most of those. This is my survival knife. I used this one originally. I was given this one for, I believe, also for Christmas, or maybe it was my birthday. I don't know. But I got this one for when I was on the fire department. I bought it, or sorry, I was gifted this for the reasons that if I needed to, if I was ever inside of a building of any kind, and I got wrapped up in anything, thankfully I never had to be in that situation, but I could use this one if I needed to get myself out. It's a very, very big, heavy-duty, sharp, solid knife. It's got a serrated section. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it's got a serrated section on it, and then it just has the basic straight blade. This one is nice. It comes out of, you can see that they're not, hopefully. It's out of Portland, Oregon. It also has these holes in it. You can actually use paracord to tie this to a stick or a staff of some kind and use this knife as the tip of a spear if you wanted to. I've never used it for that. I just have, I do bring this with me if I'm gonna go on a multi-night hike of some kind, or sometime if I'm out in the woods for multiple days. I will bring this one with me. It's a great survival knife. It's got a flat piece here in the back of it, which can be used as a hammer. When it's inside of its sheath, you can actually use it as a hammer if you need to. It also has this point here. This point is actually designed so if you needed to smash the window of a car door or something along those lines, this point, if when used in the corner of the window, I have used this during vehicle extrication training on a car window, and it works. This will absolutely break a window. So, but other than that, this is a nice knife too because it fits in here, and you can actually, when it wants to fit, when it's snapped in here, this is actually a leg holster. So this is what I would do sometimes, but they actually have the straps here, so you can actually strap this right to your leg and have it as a leg knife. I don't really ever do that. If I ever needed to, it's a nice feature, but I have never used it for that. The other one thing I wanted to show you guys too was the different types of multi-tools. If you're going to do any kind of outdoor adventure, I highly recommend you get one of these, especially camping, hiking, fishing, hunting, any of them. Even with a kayak, these are worth the weight in gold. If you need them for anything, I mean, this one is, it's nice. This is the Leatherman Wave. This is the second version of these that I've had. It's got the serrated blade on one side, and it has the straight blade on the other. And it's, again, it's got a locking thumb release mechanism. I do the same thing where I can push it in with my thumb, fold it down. The nice thing is about these models is that you can access the knives, or you can access the saw, or it's got a file. You can access all of that outside of the tool without having to then fold it open, which is great. I love this one because it's hard to see. There's an actual measuring ruler on here, so if you wanted to, you can actually fold this, hold up like this. You can actually have up to, I believe, 8 inches. I don't ever use that, but it's a feature that's there. This one is just nice. It's needle nose pliers, bigger teeth pliers, and it's got the wire cutters down here. There's no spring in this one, so you have to, manually open it and close it. On the inside, it's got a bunch of different tools. So this one, of course, it broke me a long time ago, but it's got a little pair of scissors if you needed to use those for any reason. I use them occasionally, not very often. It's got a flathead screwdriver, and then glasses, a little Phillips head screwdriver for screw for glasses. This one is nice. When you flip this one out, it's got a flat head. You pull this out and flip it over, and it has a Phillips head bit in it. And then this piece right here is the can opener bit. That's all it has. Now the nice thing about these ones too that I really like is that if I need to, I can use this as a straight tool. You can see this in the back here or not, but it actually locks in place, so now it won't just fold forward on you. Not all multi-tools have this. Some of them you can fold your separate tools out on a multi-tool, and then if you're pushing, they'll fold right back in on you. This one, Leatherman came up with a great way of being able to make it so it locks. You have to press this little button in the back. It's locked, you press this button, and then it folds in. I love that feature. So that's one of the Leathermans that I have. The other Leatherman that I have, this is the OHT. My wife bought this one for me. This one I bring with me all the time. It's lighter than the Wave, but I bring this one when I go on any kind of hike of any kind. This one is different. It's got a little lock down here. This one does not flip open. The pliers actually slide down inside. So you still have access to your side tools. It's got the screwdriver there. It's got a flathead awl or screwdriver. And it's got the Phillips head screwdriver here. There's your can opener, another flathead screwdriver. And again, all these tools are accessible from the outside. This one doesn't flip open. And then, so there's your saw. There's another awl screwdriver on the top. And then this one has the serrated blade and the straight edge blade. Now the cool thing of this one though is on the outside it actually shows you, I don't know if you can see this or not, the diagrams out here shows you what each one of the tools are. So that one's your saw, you can see the serrated. This one is a knife blade that's straight, that's what that is. This one up here is showing flathead, sorry. This one shows a little tiny, I don't know if you can see it or not, little piece. There's your can opener. I like that it kind of shows you which one's which. But to get the pliers out on this one, you actually twist the lock down here at the bottom. You press these two buttons on each side and your pliers come up, let it go. Now this one's great because it is spring loaded. So it always automatically opens for you, which is really nice to have. Again, needle nose pliers, the bigger teeth pliers, and then it's got the replaceable blade wire cutters, which is a really nice feature. Nice, light. I use this one anytime we're gonna go on a hike of any kind. I use this one, I bring it with me all the time, and this little button at the bottom locks it so the pliers stay locked in place. This one is nice and light. The downfall is it's all black, so if you drop it, it's probably gonna be hard to find. But other than that, it's great. I highly recommend getting a multi-tool if you're going to do any kind of outdoor adventure. These things are worth it. When it comes to other knives, do your research. I hope this video will help you when choosing which one you want to use or pick for your next adventure. Go to a store if you can, pick them up, feel how much they weigh, feel how they fit in your hand, you know, and figure out which one you prefer when it comes to the locking mechanism. Like I said, this one for me, I really prefer to use this one. I don't prefer this one. In a pinch, if I need to, I'll use it, but it's just one-handed. I don't even know how to be able to close those one-handed without potentially cutting myself. If I can do it and I am reducing my risk of getting injured, I'm going to utilize that. So other than that, I hope this video helps you guys when deciding what kind of knife you want for your adventures. If you guys have any questions on any of these things, if you're looking for some advice, please hit us up in the comments and we will get back to you as soon as we can. We've been trying to keep up with that. Let us know what you guys are coming up with. Heck, send us some pictures of the knives you got, and I wish you guys the best of luck when it comes to picking the knife for your adventure you choose to go on.